Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So many of you have been emailing me and commenting on what type of generator you should get. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing you every option that I have available to me. I'm going to show you what I use them for and when I use them. Starting from the right, we have a Frigidaire TriFuel generator, which can provide as much as a continuous 7,500 watt power output. Next to that, you'll see the little blue generator there. It's the Yamaha iPower 1600 continuous watt generator, which is also equipped with a pure sine wave inverter. Next to that, you see my blue Eddy solar generator. And then next to that, you're going to see my very first piece of prepping equipment that I ever bought. That is a hand crank generator that can provide up to 400 watts of continuous power as long as you have the energy to crank that crank. And sitting on top of that, you're going to see that I have my Goal Zero Torch 250 hand crank flashlight dash lantern. You may ask yourselves, well AP, why isn't your Snug Max there that you reviewed a few days ago? I gave it away, ladies and gentlemen. What I have here is plenty to suffice my need. In the future, if a company wants to send me some extra solar generators so I can review and at least give one away, then I'll do it. But this is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and start from right to left with the Frigidaire. After I tell you all what I use these generators for, I'm going to leave a placard so that you can see what in my house these generators can run. That way you can maybe compare it to what you have and what your needs may be, which will help you in deciding what size generator you would like to get for yourselves. Now, as I stated before, this is the Frigidaire TriFuel generator. The reason it's called a TriFuel is because it can run on gasoline, it can run on liquid propane, and it can even run on natural gas if you have it available to you. For my purposes, this is really a dual fuel. I don't have natural gas available to me, but as you can see, I have gasoline and propane available to me. In the past, I've shown you all my old Champion generator, which was just a little bit smaller than this one. It could only handle 7,000 watts, where this one can handle up to 7,500 watts. However, that generator only ran on gasoline, and I really wanted to get at least a dual generator so I can have a backup to my gasoline. Whereas this generator can run on LP and gasoline, it's perfect for me because especially LP will last forever. Liquid propane, if you store it in the proper place where it's not going to get dinged and damaged or dropped or anything like that, it's safe and it will literally last forever. It doesn't have an expiration, whereas gasoline does. So I like the idea of having something that I can use propane for, and I can save my gasoline for my vehicles. Now this generator, ladies and gentlemen, will provide you up to 7,500 watts of continuous power if you're using gasoline. It'll provide you 6,750 watts of continuous power if you're using propane, and only 5,500 watts of continuous power if you're using natural gas. Using propane or gasoline, this generator can run everything in my house with the exception of the hot water heater, the dryer, because I have an electric dryer, and my microwave. So now let's go ahead and move along to the Yamaha iPower. Now this generator, ladies and gentlemen, the Yamaha iPower 1600 continuous watts, is a great little generator. It's whisper quiet, so you don't have to worry about drowning out the neighborhood with noise. It doesn't use a lot of gasoline, and it goes ahead and throttles down how much gas it uses depending on how much wattage you're pulling from it. This right here will easily power my refrigerator, my freezer, and both of my Toyo stoves, keeping my fridges on and my heat on, and I could even draw a little bit of light out of this as far as the wattage goes. In my opinion, this is a great little generator for people that don't have many power outages and just want to keep their refrigerators, freezers running, and maybe power some other things around the house that will give you convenience. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is the blue Eddy solar generator. This is the model that has 2,400 watt hours capacity, and of course it includes a pure sine wave inverter. This is a great generator in my opinion. I did do a review on this, and I'll leave a link on the top right hand corner of this video if you guys want to take a look at it. Now the main purpose for this generator, ladies and gentlemen, is to power my refrigerator or my freezer and or one of my 2 Toyo stoves. Normally upstairs, whenever the electricity goes out, I hook up one of my solar generators to the Toyo stove to keep it running. If the electricity's been out for more than an hour, I'll go ahead and start thinking about using one of my big generators to either power my house or my smaller Yamaha generator. Now this is a great solar generator, ladies and gentlemen. Not only can you power it with a solar panel, but you can also charge it with a plug in your house, with an electrical socket in your house. Now ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at here is a hand crank generator. This generator is able to produce up to 400 watts because it has a 400 watt inverter in it. It has a small battery. However, you can attach it to bigger batteries if you want more capacity of power. It also has a charge controller in there that will not allow you to overcharge the battery. And of course, if you look at it, this would be a great little item to hook up to the back of a bicycle tire. It almost looks gimmicky, but it actually works really well. And in the worst of cases, you know that you'll at least be able to have some lights on in your house. Sitting on top of that is my very favorite flashlight that I've ever had. I've reviewed a lot of flashlights, but this is my favorite because not only is it a flashlight, but it's also a power bank that will allow you to at least power your phone. So it's a great little flashlight. Not only can you crank it, but you can also use the sun to charge it up, and you can also charge it up from your wall inside the house. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you and go over with you all what my routine is when we lose power here where I live. Now ladies and gentlemen, many people may think that here in Alaska, when you lose power, the first thing that you go to is your big generator. But believe it or not, I've had a pretty good experience up here as far as power outages. Usually whenever there's a power outage, the company here, GVEA, is the name of the company that provides electricity to us out here. They're pretty good at sending crews out and getting the power restored, even during the toughest of times when weather is concerned. So when my power goes out, the first thing I do is I grab my solar generator. I bring it next to my Toyo, which is the stove that heats my entire house, and I plug my Toyo in. That way I have heat going through my house uninterrupted pretty much. If the power is still out after an hour, I get on my computer and I check the website for GVEA, which is the electric company that takes care of our electricity needs here in Fairbanks, and I check and see if a crew has been dispatched to fix the problem. If a crew has not been dispatched, I wait up to as long as 4 hours. However, meanwhile, I take my other solar generator and I hook it up to my refrigerator. I'm not too worried about the freezer because the freezer can go at least a good 4, 5, 6 hours as long as you don't open it. If the power hasn't come on after 4 hours, I then go and start my Furman and hook it up to my house, which will provide my house with electricity for everything except those 3 things that I mentioned before: the electric dryer, the water heater, and the microwave. At the same time, while I'm running all of those things with the Furman generator, I can also hook up my solar generators to that power outlet so that they can recharge as that generator is running. The reason that I got the iPower Yamaha is in case my big generator, my house generator, fails, that I can have something that I know will continue to run unless I ran out of gasoline. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you guys have been having a good weekend and that you have a good week ahead. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.